Guys, first of all, we are at the Melanated Sex Expo. The second annual Melanated Sex Expo brought to you by the Orgasmic Melanin Goddesses, Piggy and Nisha. Now, I got to tell you guys, first of all, this is my first time in Tucson. You been out here before, Kandi? No, I guess not. I don't think I've been to Tucson. Phoenix, yes, Tucson.
Yes, you're right. I guess you're right.
Yes. I'm excited to see what Tucson got to offer over here. Now, guys, we're having an open panel conversation, but because we're having this conversation here, we are filming it as well. And we're going to be releasing the filming of this on the Bedroom Kandi YouTube page under our Business of Pleasure podcast. So it's like a live show. We want y'all to be, be who you are, but just be mindful when the conversation's going so that the audio is clear and things like that. Try not to talk while someone's speaking. But my name is Kash. I'm your sexologist bestie. And I'm here with my BK family. And none other than our company founder, Kandi, how many titles? Grammy Award winning, singer-songwriter, multi-serial entrepreneur, and what's the word? This year, and she is coming into 2025 unapologetically with the energy of what? You said
audacity of a white man.
So this year's Melanated Sex Expo has a theme, and the theme of this is our bodies, right? Our pleasure, our power. And Bedroom Kandi is a company that has spent many, many years growing a community of people who are really passionate about just that. And we wouldn't be able to do that or do what we do. And I hope you guys checked out our BK family outside as well. And I see some BK family over here too, right? But that is literally what BK represents. The mission is empower, educate, earn. Because, it's money out there, y'all.
It's money out there. Go get it.
So really, we're just going to have a conversation a little bit about what those words mean, right? Our bodies, right? How do you understand it? How do you discover it? How do you access pleasure for it? We're going to talk about our pleasure, right? What ways do we like pleasure? I see some questions here. We're asking about products and toys, so I can't wait to get there. And then overall, our power, right? And we know that we are all here. This is a BIPOC event. So this is really, really a conversation around how us as a people, right, tap into our pleasure, which is a different conversation. So I just want to set the tone, okay? Now, to kind of kick into gear, I want to ask, I remember we were at our cruise this year, guys. We had our convention. I'm sorry, not this year, last year. And we were on the water this year. And at one of our, we have something called the CAC at Bedroom Kandi, which is our Consultant Advisory Council. That is a council composed of BKs, like cream of the crop, people who are out there really, really doing this. And we were having a meeting. And we were talking and brainstorming like we always do.
Yes.
And someone in there was bigging them up, like, there is this group. They are doing this event out in Arizona. And what I loved most was Kandi said, this year I'm willing to come outside. I want to go and support you guys. And Kandi, I want to first ask you, right, on that note, when it comes to that, what made you so passionate about not just lending your brand, right, your name, but also your presence? And why is this important for you to show up for the BK community?
Oh, okay. Well, it's very important to me because I just feel like, we always say we built like a family at Bedroom Kandi. And the main thing, I feel like a lot of people don't understand how much of a community of support we are to each other, like how we motivate each other, we support each other, we keep each other going. And obviously I'm the face of that for us. And I feel like if there are times that I can get out in there in the community and help y'all in the things that you're doing in the different areas that y'all, wherever you live or the areas you're working in, I want to help magnify that if I can. And so that was my intention. And then plus it's like, it's like we're a community of sisters. Well, it's not just sisters.
right?
It's like everybody candy, but we're a community that's like a family, and at the same time, it's just kind of like I have to have your back. You know what I mean? I have to, like, not just in words, I'm saying, because so I feel like when people have companies, sometimes they
lend their words, but they don't lend their action.
right. So I wanted to be about it and not just talk about it. And I said that I was going to do it and I was going to be a woman of my word, and I'm here. And we have a couple of other events as well planned this year.
No, that's real, because I think sometimes what people don't understand is, yeah, pleasure is an important conversation, but for us, community is an even bigger one, right? Because there's so many stigmas, right? There's so many ways that we've been told that we have to access our pleasure, and how we have to present our bodies, and how we, and right now, quite frankly, a big, huge attack on our power, right?
For sure.
I would say to people, we ain't ever need no DEI over here. We are the DEI, and it's
Definitely are the DEI.
But I do want to turn to Kiki and Isha and ask you guys, this is your second annual. So congratulations on even executing this for a second time. A lot of people don't get to come back, right? Can we give it up for them?
And mind you, let me just say this. I always tell people you haven't really done something unless you do it twice. So congratulations to you. Tell you that. And it's only got to keep getting better.
Yes, and bigger. Okay. But you know what I always say when it comes to these spaces, it's great when it's intimate, right? Because we get to really get to what we need to get to. But I want to know what made you guys decide that you wanted to take on the responsibility of being the creatives of the space. Because I got to imagine how much has to go into it and how many sleepless nights. I hope y'all keep y'all vibrators tucked. Because you got a discount. By the bed. Okay. Now we can continue with the conversation. But seriously, it takes a lot to do this and show up with big, beautiful smiles, looking glowed up and all that kind of stuff. Can you talk to me about bringing together Orgasmic Melanated Goddesses in the Melanated Sex Expo? Don't cry, y'all.
I am, because I'm passionate. We are passionate about our people. And this expo means the world to us. And people don't understand just how long this journey was for me, because this was literally from his vision to my brain to writing it down on paper over 14 years ago, before I even met this beautiful woman right here. And then when I met her in 2019 and I told her the vision, she was like, how can we get it done? And I was like, what? I thought she was going to say, oh, nah, like, that's whack. Like, nah, like, think of something else. No. She was like, no, how can we get this done? And so we started planning. Planning. Yes, COVID happened right after that. COVID happened, and then COVID happened, but we were still planning. And then when the world opened up, we was like, all right. Then 2023, we had the very first one. And we were like, okay, we did something. We have something, because we can feel it and it's needed. And people were coming up to us after and telling us, thank you. Frana, I gotta blast you out real quick, because she was one of the first to come. Okay. Frana was one of the first. I was like, sis, I got something. And she was like, I got you. And she came and she supported. And she was like, anything you need. And now she's volunteering. She's taking her time. Jasmine is another one. She was actually our first workshop leader for the expo. She had one workshop, y'all, in 2023. and that was Jasmine. And now we have over 17.
See? Growth. Pipe it up for growth. I love that. You know, and Nisha, did you want to add anything to that before I say anything?
The only thing that I want to say is that when we met, I was excited. I was in Atlanta actually for a makeup class. We were learning the makeup, and I found out. He can't hear you. Okay, I found out that there was another Darren Katie consultant at MP. Called her and we connected, and we now call each other business lovers. And that's it. Yes, this is a marriage, right? And mine came out from being at 40. That was my sexual revolution. I was like, wait a minute, I do something. I ain't know nothing. So from Darren Katie. And for me, I say it's down the other way, and I had it. Well, that's going through the same thing, and that's where it started. And we disconnected, and we fight, we love, we do all that stuff, but we do it for you guys because this is a mission, this is a ministry. You really feel like that, you know, there's not a lot of spaces where people who look like you can see people who look like you talking about sexual health and wellness, and that's what we like to do.
I love that. I love that. I love that. And you're not wrong about that. Because one of the biggest things is that you're right. Not a lot of spaces that go have these conversations without judgment. And that's what we create overall, just as a company. But I love to see when people take the opportunity that Bedroom Kandi offers and then creates a bigger vision for themselves, right? Because we call it a vehicle, right? And so vehicles take you where you're going, and you are always in control of what that destination looks like, right? But no one person we don't all have the same destinations, right? So one of the things that we've been so big on is branding yourselves. And look at it. Yes, and first of all, can we give it up for the t-shirts? Yes, the t-shirts say for those in the back who can't see it, body rolls and bedroom goals. I love it.
Collaboration. We're ambassadors for identity. She would be another Black only woman to give each other fear. He felt support. Should we fear tomorrow? The boom support.
Yes. So speaking of support, guys, I wanted to actually go there. I could be real with y'all. Because we keep saying we got to support each other. Did we all understand? Okay, cool. Because what I love to see is rooms like this, but the truth of the matter is it's one thing to say it. It's another thing to put it in your story. It's another thing to do that, but it's another thing to actually do it, right? And we commonly see a conversation about how our community needs to grow in that area. So I want to give it up to every single one of you guys who are here supporting them, okay? And I'm loving seeing all of the tables of smaller businesses, right, lined up who all look like each other because we need representation. Speaking of which, Kandi, Pioneer Pleasure. Because she made the ultimate decision to give representation at a time where in this side of things, we didn't know. We were like, we do this too. Y'all know the old school thing, sweeping under the rug, what happened in this house, don't leave this house. All the different things that we were taught that are limiting beliefs. So how did you get past any potential limiting beliefs, any potential naysayers, anybody who was like, you crazy as hell for going ahead and launching an adult intimacy brand?
You know what? It's so funny because I don't know if I realized how big of a deal and how much change it was going to make when I first decided to do it. It started out from me doing Candy Coated Nights in the beginning because we were like really building a following. I don't know if y'all are Candy Coated. When we first started doing it, not everybody wanted. Now, there's so many people doing sex podcasts. But at the time, I don't even think we knew what podcasts were when we first started doing it, right? And we were talking about sex and relationships, and we were like building like a real following for it. So I was like, I need that. have our product that they come along. Yeah. And a friend of mine, she was like, you should do an adult toy. And I was like, that sounds like a good idea. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't know why it didn't occur to me like, okay, you know what? This is crazy because most, Black women, that was taboo, to be out in the open talking about you got your sex toys or whatever. That was back in the day when people were still scared to leave out the sex shop with a little brown paper bag. They didn't want nobody to see them. Y'all remember those days, right? Now people be ordering it over the internet, but back in the day, we used to have to go to the store.
The stores used to be like, she buying a toy, she buying a toy.
Yeah, and you be like trying to go at a certain time of day when nobody was gonna be out there. Yeah, so but I felt like it was important that we normalize toy because I saw some statistic that said a majority of women have never experienced an orgasm from penetration.
And it's still a huge gap, like 85%.
Yeah,
women need clitoral stimulation to receive.
Well, and at that time, it was a lot of women who wouldn't even get clitoral stimulation.
That part,
they wouldn't even have no orgasm.
It was it's so funny you just say that, Kandi, because I remember, like, when he was young and he wasn't supposed to be in grown folk conversation, but you were. Right. I remember hearing a conversation of, like, my aunts and all of them talking about just that right there. And that's back when they was telling you, like, get the man, feed the man, fuck the man. You know what I'm saying?
Like, it was all about him and you wasn't really getting off, You're right, your side of it. So I was always that friend in my friend group that was like, girl, you tried this? Did you do this? You need to do this next time. And I was like, the only one out of my group of friends that had an adult toy party at my house and they invited everybody. I had sold the most toys that this consultant, it was from another company before, had ever had. I got all the prizes that they gave.
And whatever they had.
All the prizes, Holly. That's just, I grew up with it, like my family on my mama's side. We were very open-minded. Even though my mama got on TV, tried to act like she was appalled that it was a stripper at the birthday party. But growing up, like as a teenager, my cousins, we always had strippers at our birthday parties. I had a stripper at my first baby shower when I had Riley. When I threw a baby shower for Tiny when she had Zanique, I had a stripper at that baby shower. Like that was a thing. It was like, oh, we have a party and we got a stripper. Go, everybody come through. And that was back even, so for me.
Oh, and that was Atlanta club scene.
Yeah, strip club, so for me, growing up in Atlanta, I guess maybe, and then having a family that was very open-minded. The other side of my family is very religious, okay? But my parents split up when I was young and I was more side with my mama's side. So I was just, open to explore. So anyway, my point in telling you all of that is when the idea came up to do an adult toy, I thought that was the best idea in the world. When I went ahead and did it, I was like, oh, you know what? Because of that one party I had when I was younger, I was like, oh, I always wanted to have one of those, can we do at a home parties company? Yeah. So me and my partners, Brian and Suki, we got some consultants to come and teach us about putting together a multi-level marketing firm. You know what I mean? So we went through the process kind of like you. It was our first time doing it. We had to figure it out. We did our research. We had people to mentor us and consult us in that lane. And we just started making it happen. And we didn't know what was going to happen. But obviously it's brought me to, y'all. Yeah, probably a huge market. And not only that, I know it's being, other people in magazines, writers and stuff, they credited me in saying that they felt like I helped change the game for the thought of sexuality in the African American community. Because I don't know if you guys see the difference in the way, and I don't want to take full credit. No. And what I'm saying is, because I used the platform that was showing it to the world. So, 15 years ago, yes, me talking about sex, doing all the things, and then showing me to start in bedroom candy, showing me to doing candy coated nights, all of these things were able to spark conversations and started to normalize and make people think differently. It started to open minds and open hearts. And that's just the way I look at it. Some people still don't understand, don't get it. But then I have come across people who were preachers' wives at our different events, and they'll be like, "Oh, this is so important for us to have these conversations." And I think that was a big part of why the Black community was so hush hush taboo, is because the Bible based for a lot of us, grew up in the church, and it was always said, "Oh, you ain't supposed to talk about that, or you ain't supposed to do this, or you don't want to look like this." But for me, I just feel like I shouldn't, as long as I'm not doing anything illegal, I shouldn't have to be ashamed of anything that I want to do or how I want to live my life. If it's not bothering you, then let me live. Let me live,
I'm telling her mind the business that pays you because she paid, right?
Live your best life.
It's so real because I think we all have a version of that story of some type of something like that. I know when I was like younger, I remember hearing like if you was slobbing on any kind of knob, you was the biggest whore in town. I was so much older before the first time, I got it. Now I'm out here teaching them how to slobber.
Hey, you do a damn good job. What would you say? Because I started a little bit earlier. Now I'm good, but I don't know if I'll guess good.
I ain't gonna lie. I was like, oh, you know what it is because I think that they think it's all about just being sexual. And for me, I'm a nerd. Like at my core, I like to call my boyfriend calls me a blue belt because he goes, you got like black belts and certain things, and then you just want to have a blue belt and everything else. Oh yeah, I want to dip my toes. I want to see what's what. But I think what was really thinking I'm watching this stuff. I'm intrigued. And I'm studying, and I'm like, oh, so the penis does that. I wonder what would happen if you... And then before I knew it, tried and tested, approved. But I say that to say, even me, guys, right, coming into this side of life where I'm actually speaking about sex publicly, I'm saying that because my friend's been owing me I've been needing to send out invoices to them for a long time. They call all the time, right? All of their problems and stuff. I was like, they're not gonna figure out how to get paid for this. And doing parties was my introduction to the industry. I was in politics, right? So it was super hush hush for me even at that time because I was in a career path where So that was the great thing about the parties because it was private and everybody went in your business and ain't nowhere was that on a Friday or Saturday. But one of the biggest things that I learned in my motherhood, and I just want to ask this to you ladies really quick before I go to some of the questions I have here. I was a couple years ago, probably like the pandemic year, when I realized that I was going to have to start having conversations about bodies with my kids, right? Yes, my oldest child is now 13, but he's on the autism spectrum. And then my youngest is 4, but he's got the brain of an 8-year-old. And he happened to break into my office one time. I was like, what is going on? And he said, Mommy, am I going to be like that when I get bigger? And I was like, what is like that? Thank God it wasn't one of the products that was one of the products, but he was just kind of curious. And I was like, how do you have conversation with your young? Because they naturally get curious. And nowadays it's even earlier. And it's so much more access to information online. Where before we used to have to like huddle and talk about it. Now they could run a Google search or a TikTok search or something search and end up in a rabbit hole, right? So that being said, it made me think about age appropriate conversations about our body, right? I had to teach my very young person, nobody's allowed to touch you here. But if you feel this way, go to a private place, see if you got to take a, pee. My son asked me, literally, I just posted this video, guys. He came to me, he said, my penis is long. I was like, I wanted to say, well, you were Johnson. But I'm like, you're ready for this. You're ready for this. But I want to ask you guys, when it comes to this conversation, because I know I was very young when I dipped my toes in some things, but I was also very young when I got exposed to some things that I probably should have never, ever been exposed to. How do you guys have the conversation? Like, Kandi, you have the show that you're doing with Riley and your mom right now. Well, y'all been talking about. How do you talk to a Riley about these things as a woman who is a pioneer in this industry to help her understand how to navigate her womanhood?
I mean, Riley grown now. She grown. Yeah. I mean, we can talk about anything at this point. But I feel like a lot of those conversations about adult things have, and some people may agree or disagree, but it has to happen by at least 5th grade. It's simply because if you wait to 6th grade, a lot of them are already doing the do. Okay, and I was always the big cousin or play aunt that they can always come to, and their mom's still in Delulu land thinking they're not doing nothing. And I'm trying to tell them, hey, you might want to put them on birth control. You might want to do this because these kids, if you are not having that conversation with them, then they friends are.
You know, and every one of them got a friend with a mama who gives no, y'all know what I mean. So you don't want them to learn from that.
Yeah, or or they learn it from older cousins or older kids. And you just don't want them to learn from other people before you had that conversation with them. So I'm a strong believer in you start having that conversation early. Now, for me, I feel like with Ace and Blaze, like Ace is 9, and Blaze is 5. I believe, was it a year ago or 2 years ago? Ace had that's why you gotta watch them phones, Chuck. He had, what's the anime? Yeah, one like when his anime had the boobs, and I was like, what is this on your phone? Who showed you this? So I told now that I'm married, I told my husband, I'm like, you need to have this conversation with him because clearly he's curious, and so yeah, so Ace is 9, and so that was what 8, 7, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like not that he's fully knowing what to do or anything, but you're supposed to have the conversation before they know where to go. So yeah,
I agree with that, and I know that you guys also, you have an adult son. Hey, baby,
Over here. Yes. Shout out for that.
What year? That's something I said. Look, yeah.
I say, your kids don't know you nothing. He come in here, he got, I say, he did get that you all. And that's all we call, bro. And then when they came, like, no, this is what I do. So now they like, Ma, let's talk, so they feel comfortable around. Some chicks are not gonna, come and talk, mom is. But my biggest thing too is because of the internet, even as adults, we're getting wrong information. That's why we do what we do. We want to put professionals in front of the people because the internet is out there with all this. Everybody, as long as you got a microphone, you could open up, you have a podcast, you say all kind of crazy stuff. I'm experiencing every day with half the stuff people are saying about saying on podcasts. This is why we do, because we want to bring the professional in front of people so they can get their questions and reply. Yeah, they go up here and do the right and understand it and all people. So yeah, have to. So I can only pick the mic candidate more up. Yeah, how? Thank you.
So for me, because my mama is real saved, like extra saved, like too saved. So, like, so from the time I had my menstrual cycle, from 9 until about 2 weeks ago. Are you pregnant? You better not be pregnant. Like, you pregnant? I better not catch you being pregnant. Pregnant? Huh? That was the talk. That was literally the talk. She came to my room one day. I was 12. She just came in. You pregnant? Hey, well, I play it with Barbie dolls, Mom. Like, what is going on? But literally, I'll never forget. I was 21, and I got on birth control for the first time, and I called her, and I said, "Hey, Mom, you know my OBGYN, I got on birth control. Oh, you must be out here doing whorish. Let me go." And just, yes. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. You must be out here just doing who you with? I'm like, Mom, I'm just trying to regulate my period. Like, can I just regulate the period? No. So, yeah, no. And so when I started this journey and started doing bedroom candy, she was not for it at all. But then once she started to see the money, that's when she started changing her tune. She was like, "Oh, that's money, baby. Okay, well, go get the bread." Because my mom's all about that bread. My mom's not no that. Yeah. Once she saw the tax statements, she saw that tax return, she was like, oh, you got a little Kool-Aid coming. Okay, yeah, get the money. And so when I told her that Kandi was coming to her expo, she was like, "Oh, you got money coming. You got bread coming." So now she's got hope for it, and she's like super proud of me and everything like that. But no, my mom is super religious, still like, no, I'm not allowed to have no boyfriend. I'm 40 years old, still not allowed to have no boyfriend. I'm like, this is some foolishness. But yeah, no, right. And that's why you're my best friend. That's why you're my friend. I love you, friend.
We listen and we don't.
Like it.
Why they stay just
all the time. Because as soon as we get inside the party, we'll be like, this right here, this is really good for anal. They be like, I don't know about that. Nah.
do it either though, really. That's one thing I never got into.
Not the instructional kick.
It's like the animal for me.
Yeah. It's one of those things that's really just not for everybody.
Yeah, some people love it. Now, I know some friends that feel like it's the best thing ever. And
I think that also.
If you want a Slippery Tuesday, just get to sleep. Bedroom candy, check out the, vegetable. And, handle your business. Because anal is great. I don't know about y'all. It's great.
I see a few people that love it. Yeah, it's just
I'm like, can sit.
yeah. Everybody's different.
Your sunflower's like, yes.
I tried one time. As soon as I had to go straight to the bathroom. I think I'm good. That ain't for me. It's just me.
Listen, I always tell people you can't knock it if you didn't try it. But then if you done tried it and you ain't like it, then you feel free to knock it. Yeah. To each his own. Yeah, hey, that's our power. To make decisions about our pleasure. And what parts of our body we let things going in and out.
Hey, I'm not judging.
No, never. And you know what's so funny? I think that people think that because a person is sexual, they mean they down for everything. Right. Like,
If there's people be swearing, I just know about everything. They be like, I know you done did.
Hey, it's so crazy because just because you can even talk about something or teach about it, don't mean that that's like your Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday night. You know what I'm saying? So I'm one of those people. I'm not necessarily hard with the anal, but I don't mind like a little. You put that thumb in there while you do some other things. Have a good time. Now it doesn't mean I haven't tried it, but it's just too much preparation. And I'm a mother of a special needs child and a 4-year. Did I say that earlier? You think I got time? I got a 60-second get it in and out toy. I got an older kids that are babysitter toy. You know what I mean? So now I do have some questions really quick, guys, that were given in that I want to make sure. And some of these are pleasure focused and some of these entrepreneurship focused. So the first question, which also I think lends close to what another question says. So I'm going to ask it together. It is, what is some enlightening advice for Black entrepreneurs? And then the second part would be, what is your best advice to someone who is just starting out?
That's just to me, that's a broad question, but I mean, for anybody that's starting out, like, okay, I would say I really enjoyed what you said about your conversation with her, because this is something that I always tell people. If you have an idea, stop saying that you're waiting on this or waiting on that to start the idea. Just start the idea, meaning start doing the research, start making a plan. And really, for me, it's all about setting a date. So for me, if I set a date for something, then I know I'm going to put everything in together to make it happen by that date. Because that's just how I am. I'm not going to fail. I'm not going to have something that's whack. So that means if I locked in the venue on, let's say, August, whatever, then I'm like, okay, y'all, we got to this. So let's see. We need to get posters. We need to do this. We need to do that. Because it puts pressure on you to set time limits on yourself. Then you have like a goal that you know you have to meet. If you don't start setting goals and timelines, then you just let that idea linger forever and ever. So that's the first thing. But I always say do the research. So what I was saying about with you, when you said you had this idea, you was like, oh, I got this idea, it might be wild or whatever. And then she was like, okay, what we need to do. She was like, she's like a doer. And I like that. I like those type of people. The other thing is, get the negative people out your head. And even if you are your negative person, you show negative stuff out your head. Meaning, for a lot of us, we defeat ourselves before we even try. Meaning, so if I say, oh, I have this great idea, people always got a million reasons. Well, it's probably going to cost too much. Oh, I don't know. People probably ain't going to buy it from me. Oh, I don't know. You be telling yourself all the reasons why it's not work. That is your form of hate, being your own hater. So please stop doing it. So I just say, start the research, set the timeline, get all the web domains and all this page names trademarked from the start. Don't put the word out there and then go back and try, because if you put your title or whatever out there, somebody's going to immediately take it. And they're going to try to, take the momentum from your heat that you started.
And sometimes they have the means to do so.
Oh, they do.
It happens all the time. Shut up till you really ready to run. Oh, you have your trusted circle, but yeah, you got to know who to talk to. I'm going to pass it to you guys, but to answer this question, I live by two mantras. One is that I am a perfect progression, and as long as I'm progressing, I'm always perfection. I believe that people stop. They stop too soon. They stop too early before they actually really put anything into it. They've convinced themselves after the first failure or setback, right, that this is probably not going to work, and then they allow themselves to succumb to those thoughts. And you have to ask yourself and stop. Let me just tell you, a positive and a negative thought can't exist at the same time. So there are people who see someone crossing the street and say, you can look at them and say, don't go out there, but don't. Then followed by go out there actually makes the person hesitate and go out there versus get back. So anytime you have a feeling that you're not succeeding at it, ask yourself, are you giving yourself or feeding yourself a negative thought? Or are you looking for the positive in a pool of negative? And that's one thing. And then the second that I live by is that I am my own GPS. I'm my own global positioning system, right? Every time I put that, you know how this go. You put the address in, right? And you be like, I'm going. And then you get on the road and they be like, it's traffic. And you're like, okay, we're going to be a little delayed. And then you be trying to speed up to catch up from that delay. You miss the exit. And then the GPS goes recalculating route. Recalculating route. She'll never recalculate the shit fast enough though, right? But you done missed 3 more turns before. But one time I did that and I stumbled on a shortcut. So sometimes you think you're not on the path you're supposed to be on. And you don't realize that there's something you are not supposed to go in that direction for. So you have to trust the process and know that when you get to that destination, you're just going to plug in another address. You're going to go there. Maybe you're going to get there on time. Maybe you're going to get there on color folk time, depending on your preparation. But the bottom line is just know that the GPS never says, I'm sorry, I can't get you there. I have never heard her say it. And if y'all want to send a letter to Google and tell them to hire me, I'm going to be like, turn left. Yo, K-E-G for that. Perfect voice for that. I like it. Yeah, but just don't. You need to act like that GPS. You need to be your own GPS and just recognize that there's always another way. And before you concede to not getting there the way you thought you were supposed to go, just know that there's a reason and trust that process. So I'm going to pass it to my sisters because the other question was, what advice do you have when you're getting started? And I know y'all not newbies no more.
Oh, listen, we have been through trials and tribulations. We just went trials and tribulations this morning. Okay? It doesn't stop. It's like a record player. It literally does not stop. We literally be on the phone till past 2 a.m, talking about stuff. She be on a computer like this. Because we are our business. We constantly are having to do what we need to do for our business. It does not stop. And so in order to keep it moving, you have to keep going. You have to keep focused.
So mine is changing the mindset and having this from a hustle to a CEO mindset. That is the thing that we are focused on. After this expo, there's a lot of work that we have to do. CEOs don't do everything. CEOs delegate. But in order to delegate, you got to have standard operating procedures. You got to have things to know how to do those things. So we are literally putting those blueprints together so that we can be prepared to have a team and let the team know how to do it the way that we want to do it. So we are changing our mindset from that hustle to that CEO mindset.
I love that. That's dope. All right, you got for that question, y'all. Y'all got a lot. If you ain't heard it, one thing I heard that constant in this conversation with everybody think is sometimes we're the biggest thing holding ourselves back. You got to do the work. I don't know why people be with the get rich quick thoughts. Y'all be wanting turnkey, huh? You still got to furnish that. But if you want to get into a business and you don't want to have to do all of that, then just come on over to the good side. You see what we're doing at Better Kings, right? So the next question, and then we have one more after, is in what ways do you balance your own sexual wellness? Go to the doctor.
You said checkups, King? You would say checkup. Yeah, get them checkups, please. Yeah, Can Community Health will be in the building tomorrow night and Sunday, so please get tested, y'all. We are having somebody get you checkups, okay? So if you have not been tested, please get tested. What would I say? I mean, I've been doing this work for over a decade, so for me, it's just continuation. Like, I literally do the work every day. Like, I am my own plug. So I constantly am my own plug. So I'm like, masturbated today? Have you masturbated today? Have you masturbated today? Because masturbation is healthy. And we are taking back those taboos, right? And cutting those stigmas from that. So, because my skin is clear. I don't know about your skin, but she's 40. So my skin is clear. And that's because I masturbate twice a day.
I guess for me, I would just say prioritizing. For me, my son told me this. He said, "Mom, you are in your villain season." So that's why my character tomorrow night. I'm a villain. I created my own character with a backstory and everything. Uh, just prioritize. Just period. Like I have a mom with Alzheimer's. I work a full-time job while doing this. And it's just this is a priority to me, and your sexual wellness should be a priority to you as well. And just like my health, working on that, just starting with now going to the gym, it should be part of that. The three mind, body, spirit. You should just make that a priority as well.
I mean, I've been doing a lot of different things lately. I'm definitely in the living my best life era. Not giving any fucks to what anybody thinks era. But I'm a little bit older than y'all. Oh, you are? Oh, okay, where you are. I'm sorry. I mean, she kept talking about she 40, so I'm about her. They both 40 over there.
Excuse me.
I feel partisan now. I feel partisan. Yes. So, I just recently got the pellets. Hey, y'all got that hormone pellet? Okay, so as you mature, this is something that I learned, okay? Had Dr. Jackie gets. But it's as you mature, so everybody's born with like certain levels of estrogen and testosterone in their body. Everybody, female and male or whatever. But as we get older, like the levels of testosterone goes low. You know what I mean? And that's for a lot of people, their skin isn't as tight, or you're seeing hair loss, you're seeing loss of energy, sex drive is low, all those things. So what they do is they test your levels. You go to the doctor, they test your levels or whatever. And then once they get your levels back, they basically see what you need to get you to the level that you need to be on. That makes you feel younger. That gives you that strength that you need, the extra energy that you need and all those things. So they put me back in the game. I think I wasn't in the game because, my sex drive wasn't that low. You know what I mean?
You gotta make sure you have a dip though.
Yeah, but all the way around, it's like I feel like my energy level is super high. So, you're supposed to like redo it every so many months. All my homegirls have gotten the pellet. And so they were telling me about it. And so that made me do a little bit more research. It's hormone pellet. I forgot the other names for it, but you can just Google. And so honestly, I had got the pellet once at the earlier part of last year. I was supposed to re-up before the summer, but then I got busy with the tour and I didn't go, and so now it's just deplete. So I went and got that back. But when I tell you, when I got the pellet, the first couple weeks, you be feeling like, I don't feel nothing. Everything is cool, And after a few weeks, I was like, everywhere I went, all I thought about was sex all day. I was like, my mind could not stop thinking about it all day. Like it was
Starting to think I got pellet drugs or something.
yes. I was like, what has happened to me? Like my brain was like in the gutter constantly. But that's not the other thing. The energy was up too. But it it don't take much to get body. But I just noticed it was definitely a change. Yeah, and then you get extra sensitive down there. It's a lot happens. There's a lot that happens.
The girls are in quad.
So with the hormone replacement, some people do take pills, some people do get shots. But with the pellet, it's an actual pellet that they basically you use some type of shot and they insert it, and it basically the pellet allows the hormones to be balanced over time instead of you getting too, like if they give you the shot, it might be too much of the hormone at one time. So the pellet kind of like slow releases it in your body.
Listen, when you guys next go to your OB appointments, and this is just for women, when you guys see a primary care, just ask for a hormone panel. A lot of people don't get hormone panels, and because it's not a part of your regular workup, if you don't request it, it's not something that's done until they see a problem. But we cannot be waiting for the problem to happen. You got to get ahead.
You got to get ahead of the problem, and that's the thing. A lot of people don't know. It's like they don't realize it's a reason why you be so tired. You know what I mean? Yeah, a lot of you definitely should. And for some people, you start losing it earlier than others. Some people be in their 30s and it's happening to them. And then some people may, be well into their 40s or more before they really need that. Or you may not know you need it until they do it. Because she told me and I know as a woman, I didn't know I needed testosterone, right? So she said mine was on 0 and it was supposed to be at I can't remember the number it was. But yeah, so she got, well, so to get you something.
It's so funny that we were having a conversation earlier today. We were filming some episodes. Shout out to Wyatt Kelly in the audience. Wyatt is Baron Candy's first trans influencer. Give it up. Give it up. And one of the things we said in our conversation earlier was people think that hormone replacement therapy is just for individuals who are within the trans community. Oh, no, right? And so, you would never think that this is a relevant health factor for everyone. If you experiencing dryness, check your panel. If you're moody and can't regulate your milk, check your panel. Like you said, tired. These are all signs.
It's for everybody. It's for everybody. It doesn't matter. I'm not just saying it's not just for women or female presented, whatever. It's for everybody. We all have hormone levels that can be out of whack and off balance. So everybody should get checked.
Yes. Guys, and if you're walking around wondering why, guys get it too. Yes, they get the your testosterone may be low or estrogen is necessary in men. So this is why we talk the talks, right? I'll be honest to this question. I'm not in a phase of sexual wellness. I'm in a phase of sensual wellness. I like to feel everything. But what it is, and I'm going to talk more with you guys on Sunday, but I took a lot of time last year to get really in tune with what's going on in my body, especially my mind. Because we just naturally carry a lot. I'm a firstborn, first everything. And I've been taking care of everybody for a long time. My first child is my brother. So I have a basket full of cases of traumatic history that I did a really good job compartmentalizing. And then at one time, it was like, you coming out, you coming out, you coming out. And so last year, I started experiencing more anxiety. And I was like, don't nothing catch you panicking. So that wasn't like myself. So if you notice any small shift is really important. But I also noticed I had an increased sensitivity to certain things that, was overwhelming my senses. So people also need to check on those things because that's also an indication something going wrong. And it may not be in your body, it can actually be in your brain, right? So hormones mitigate one part, but your nervous system can be shot to the point where I'll tell you this, I also learned this. And I'm going to share it. They were talking to me about how many misdiagnoses of Black women of bipolar disorder and things like that. And it was really just untreated PTSD that had went on for so long, because for a while PTSD was widely recognized for individuals in the military, things like that. It's not that many years since it's been an inclusive conversation that other traumas, sexual assault, these are PTSD, inducing things too. So when you don't realize is once that trauma goes into the brain has a way of protecting the body, right? And so it tucks it. But if you feel like your memory is off or you forgetful a lot of times what I learned is in the process of tucking the bad memories, it also tucks away other memory parts, right? So you start having that brain that's kind of like, where did I do this? Where did I put the keys? Where did I do that? And it feels off. So I learned about this and I was just like, wow. So we've been getting disservice. Y'all know we ain't got to talk about the disproportion of care for us, right? So what I'm saying to you guys is because of that, my nervous system was heightened. And I was more sensitive to a lot of things that was making me feel more anxious, that was making me feel all these different things. So now I'm focused on working on my sensual calm, actually relaxing when we're supposed to relax. Let me tell y'all, I moved into a new home in 2023 because of the tub, to be honest. I pick my home goals based off of the bathroom of my dreams. And also, that's just like how I broke about, like, is the tub getting bigger? Can me and him, if y'all see my man, can we get in the tub? Right? So I realized I still work in my bathtub. I got a tray. I call it my bathroom office. I got a lawn office. I got a car office. I never use the actual office. But the bottom line is I'm saying to you guys, it's not just about sex, because if your sensuals, inside of life is not off or your nervous system is shattered, it's going to impact your orgasm. So it might not always be just sex, because sex is that's not the problem for me. I don't give a what's going on. I feel like I'm stressed. I'm happy. I had a drink. Everything. The kids are asleep. Let's think in the bathroom while they up. They're on their iPads. But that's just you. If you're realizing that you're not getting the same pleasure or you're not experiencing the same, check into your nervous system, okay? So I only have one more question, and then we're going to wrap this up. And I don't want to leave this last person hanging, but this comes back to the BKBC, so I got to put it out there. Kandi, at this point, what do you think has been the biggest impact for clients of BK is the question here. And someone asked about what's the favorite sex toy. I guess we could all drop our favorite sex toy in a quick one-liner. Okay.
A quick one-liner.
Like, we can each say what the toy is and then keep it weird, okay?
I got a few favorites. But, yeah. I'm going to go kind of older.
Old school.
Yeah, not old school, but kind of. I love cuddle. It's not a huge toy, but it has like a curve to it.
Yes.
And it's just, it hit it every time.
It don't miss.
Right. It don't miss. And I also love candy pop.
Yes.
Especially for if somebody's going down on me and using it at the same time. It's amazing.
Yes, and I know the ladies out front. I saw that on the table, so y'all can go that way. Okay. Shout out to BKBC. You better work your business.
Yes, I love candy pop. So, now, what was the other part of the question again?
They were asking, what do you think the biggest impact that BK has had for, I guess the people we serve?
Oh, well, I think the biggest part of impact is just offering a listening ear and because a lot of people are able to ask questions or have the conversation about sex, which everybody ain't able to have those conversations in other places. So we offer a safe space.
I would agree. I think We could probably all agree on that one right there. You think you're just coming for the money and the business and the toys, and then you're surprised that you like, is this a Greek Greek society? We out here big kind, big. I'm like, we need a dance. We need like a little two-step we doing. We seen each other, but now we just electric slide or something. But I agree with that. And for me, the toy question, I told you it depends on the day and the time that I have available. But I would say the toy that probably gets utilized most is mic drop right now. Yeah, and I'll tell you, this one ain't for the weak. But I haven't been used, so I'll tell y'all why. I'm gonna show my business. Because my boyfriend kind of the sexologist. And I was like, oh, you really want to stay? You want me to stalk you? So I'm very sensitive to heat. And, after you do what you do, sometimes I come, clean up. Well, usually I just stay my legs open in the air because I don't know where it landed on me. Right. And he would go and get the warm cloth to come clean me up a couple times. But this last time that he did it, but when we started doing it this way, he kept the heat on me. Like he kept it against my clit. And I was like revving back up. And I was like, if you're not about to do something with this, sir, come collect. So I'm over there breathing, and he noticed it. So what he did is refreshed it and came back with it really hot. He laid the cloth over me, and then he put mic drop on top. And it was like a heated vibration. And he didn't put it directly on my clit. So a lot of people don't know that the external location of your G-spot is actually right in the pupa area. So, we go up in there. That's where we at. So it was actually above, right? He was applying pressure down on my G-spot. I had the heat going right there. And then he came with his fingers on the other end, and then subtly he replaced the heat in the cloth, right, with his mouth, which was also very warm. And I was like, oh, this is going to be my aftercare special now. You can't start this and stop. But he started using the wand, right? He didn't take it away. He was on top with the wand pushing my poop area into his mouth. So everything was just coming together. It was hands here. I'm still trying to figure out where that other hand came from. Oh, look how I'm holding it. All right. Look, that was a little muscle memory. I caught that. A little bit of muscle memory just happened. But yeah, I was like, where did his hand come from? You ever look down? You ever had something happen and you're just like, because people have done that, surprise people or brought another person to the room and you think it's them touching you. Yeah, this has happened. People do stuff like this, especially at play events and stuff like that. But bottom line, mic drop is winning the show right now. Check in next week. I'll tell you what the toy of the week is. But guys, this has been our conversation, and we always close out with a segment on a business of pleasure called Money Making Monday, right? And Money Making Monday is the opportunity where we share with people the ways that they can either access the income side of things at Beverly Kandi, but also we like to just let people get an opportunity to learn about the different ways of monetizing, the business of pleasure, right? So what I want to do for Money Making Monday is actually shout out Kiki and Nisha live on the Beverly Kandi YouTube, because these ladies right here took the money that was out there with and got it and created more opportunity. And really, if you were to come over to the BK side, what we've been training about, what we've been talking about is how to actually establish your own brand identity. Like BK is the offering, and that it's high quality. That you're going to get something that's going to stand the test of time. That it's going to be great materials. That's not going to have you at your doctor with angry vagina. And so you don't have to stress those parts, right? Because we got that covered. But what you can do is find how you do it. Before, it just used to be a party. Now we're doing events. Now we're having workshops and seminars. right? Now we're finding different ways, social media, influencers, all these different ways to kind of now start working the industry in different ways. So if you are someone who is deeper, wanting to go into the business of pleasure, consider coming over. Right now, you can join us for free for a very short time. So yes, you will get your websites. You can open a business tomorrow. Okay. Yes, please.
What business you know that you can start for free? I'm just saying, like, what business you know in 2025 that you can start for free? If you don't sign up with one of these BKBCs or sign up with us, or sign up, you see the CEO, right? Boss lady right here sitting right next to me. Bedroom Candy saved my life. I need people to understand something. I'm trying to be a thug. I'm being a thug, Kash. I'm being a thug. I'm being a thug. But Bedroom Candy saved my life, right? I was in a bad relationship. Bedroom Candy came at the right time. And in almost 10 years, I started Bedroom Candy in 2015. Bedroom Candy saved my life. It came at the right time, at the right moment, at the right hour. I literally had my business lover right here, sitting right next to me. I couldn't do anything without this woman sitting by my side. What business you know starts for free? If y'all don't sign up today and get your ass up out there and work your business and do what you're supposed to do, whatever business y'all have, work your business. Do what is necessary for y'all to do. I'm telling you this now. I'm speaking from experience, y'all. Please, whatever y'all doing out here in the world, and you don't even have to sell sex toys. Believe it or not, 25% of our business is just the sex. We have everything. It's a lifestyle brand. We have deodorant. We have body wash. We have face cleanser. You see this face? Yeah. The scrubs are scrubbing. Okay? Yeah, of course, sis.
I just want to say, I really want to emphasize the branding because I have all my life, I've done all kind of MLMs. Seriously. This is the one that stuck with me. And a lot of it is because, when we talk about the community, the training has never been any other training. You usually taught how to be a cog in a wheel. This is not this type of business. I love that I go there and I learn about myself and about things about business. So whatever it is that you're doing, we found a way to incorporate Bedroom Candy into what it is that we're doing and still be our brand. And so I always want to share that with people. And you can go to a lot of other businesses and they don't teach you that. But because of Kandi and who she is, that's what makes this business so unique and amazing. So I just want to share that.
Well, as a master trainer at Bedroom Candy, I want to say she's not wrong. We definitely be having some calls. And sometimes we got to stop the recording and just talk. We did it during the pandemic. We was on there crying together, smiling together, happy together. But I think that another thing is one thing, and I want to, Kandi, I want to ask if you have anything you want to close with. But one of the things that is so big at BK is that you are in business for yourself, but you are not by yourself. And entrepreneurship is usually a solo journey. So a lot of times people get that stop because they don't got somebody to be like, if you don't get over, did you still, they'll hear your feelings, they'll validate your feelings, and they'll feel like, so what we doing? We literally hold each other up in those moments where you feel like giving up. So, and that happens sometimes on a training call, right? So I just want to emphasize the support and the personal development and growth that you get that you can take to other things. If you go over, our CAC leader, Aretha, is here with her team outside. So, and I'm telling you, y'all seen that setup. Y'all know she know what she doing. Go, get too many of us in the room. Y'all stop and y'all can get, the instructions for how to do it if you're open and you're interested, which you should be. Plus, we having a head class soon. taught by your favorite headmaster. Right. So we getting y'all steak and blowjob day ready. Okay. Which is March 14th for those who don't know. And I'm gonna put this on the calendar, April 14th. Okay, cake and cunnilingus day. But Kandi, before we close out this episode, is there any last words you want to say to those who are here with us or anybody who's watching later?
Well, first I want to say thanks to everybody that came out to support our girls over here. This is major. I want you to continue to do it, continue to be great, and get bigger and better and better and better. So, and more success, more money, more money, more money, more. Yes. Yeah, more money. Okay. But I will also agree with these ladies here. Like, the business is free. Like, okay, so let me go on and do my little pitch. Yes. Okay. So for a lot of people I know in business, they have no idea where to start, where to begin. Then on top of that, they may not have a support system around them. They don't really have the things that you need to keep your business going. Because once you get in business, you know, that'd be the hard part if you're trying to figure out, okay, who can be my mentor? What can I do? What's next? So the great part about Bedroom Kandi is we already have the products for you. Like she said, for people who don't know if they can sell toys, we have so many other products, from makeup to body, skin. We have so many different products that are quality. Okay, everything we do is top notch. Here, packaging, everything was top tier over here. Yes. Okay, so we give you the quality products. We give you the structure. So we give you the website set up. We give you the way of how to collect. We handle the shipping. We do all of the things for you. Yeah, we set up your app. We have all of those things that you would have no clue to how to begin in the beginning if you just getting started. The other thing is we have continued support. So we have our continued calls, which led by the CAC, and we give you the support that you need to help keep your business going. Now, even with all of that, you're going to have some people that get discouraged. When you get discouraged, although everybody is put on teams. So a majority of teams is there to keep supporting you and lift you up. Now, if you don't want to do it after that, then that's on you. But there is no business that you can just jump into and get all of those things. So we're saying we are here to give you those things starting out for free. Most of the people who start out in our business, if they really work their business, they're able to make money immediately, especially when you got in for free.
Right. And at that point, there is no loss. It's only gain. If you make $20, congratulations, you had success. But that's what people have to that's the belief, Yes, and I want to be clear to everyone, there is work. We're not going to say it's like, oh, you just open your doors, you announce it, and everybody going to rush your website and sell you out. It doesn't work like that. It is a process. That's why we say that's saying it. But she's right. And I think each and every one of us have a different story of how Bedroom Kandi has significantly attributed to our lives, right? So I will say I'm a sexologist because of Bedroom Kandi. Okay, I got my clinical certification through an expert who I met at a Bedroom Kandi convention. So just know that there's also the network of outside of Bedroom Kandi you get access to. But that being said, I want to thank you guys who wrote questions and wrote in. I want to thank you, Kandi, for sitting with us a little bit. Yes. She on the move, y'all. We got plays coming out. Okay, all kind of stuff going on. Deeds in Washington. Oh, look at.
Our theme for the cosplay party this year is sexy superheroes and villains. So we asked for your quote and what your superpower is. And it says, I am a generator. A generator is a relentless power source designed to activate, sustain, and restore energy where it's needed most. It transforms raw potential into unstoppable force, ensuring that no matter the circumstances, power is always available, whether igniting momentum, fueling progress, or bringing light to darkness. A generator never stops. It drives, energizes, and empowers everything around it. And so this is your superpower.
That is beautiful. Look at that.
That's from our first Melanated Sex Expo.
Oh, wow.
Thank you.
Yes.
First of all, let me say this is super cool.
It is.
Listen, our baby, we have to, once again, I have to brag on my name. Aya.
She's our graphic designer.
Yes.
She did our logo. Shout out to my baby Prince, who did all of the artwork, all of the banners, everything. Please check him out, y'all. If you need work done, he the one. He's taking all the photographers this weekend, so we gonna be snapping him out at. And then Josh, our videographer, we love you so much. Thank you. Yeah, so please support these Black businesses, y'all. We love supporting local as much as humanly possible. These are local Black businesses that we are supporting. They are here in Phoenix, so please support them.
Yes, I love that.
Okay, let me say thank you. I love this. So when they hit me and were like, oh, she needs to come up with what's her superpower? She gotta be a superhero. And I was like, oh, what's my superpower? And then I said, I know how to power up. I can power up and I can power up everybody around me. Yeah, I know how to motivate people when they come around me, and I know how to motivate myself when I'm feeling low. And I was like, what does that, a generator? I was like, I never thought about it before, but y'all made me think about it. And I was like, a generator brings power when there is none. So, yeah, that's me.
Our power. Look at that little circle. Okay, I love this. Somebody please make sure do we get a picture with them with it? I think this is just yes. And I know that the business owner who, first of all, our graphic person who designed it, the person who printed this, they're gonna benefit from this. Power up. Listen, this is only day one, y'all. We definitely about to power up. All right. Thank you, everybody. You guys enjoy the rest of the evening.